Welcome back to a brand new episode of In the Kitchen with the Breakfast Brothers. I'm Luscious Barbie and I'll be guiding you through today's episode. I'm so excited to present today's guests. On today's episode, we have violin bae Clover, the violinist, and emotional intelligence consultant, Kalon. Now, the moment that we've all been waiting for. The man in the kitchen, connecting the dots from entertainment to food, giving us wisdom every day. Give it up for our host, Ricky Booker.
Welcome to a brand new episode of In the Kitchen with the Breakfast Brothers. I'm your host, Ricky Booker. There are so many things in the world that brings us together. Good food, a little bit of conversation does it every time. And In the Kitchen with the Breakfast Brothers, we love feeding your soul. Today's guest, she's a music lover. They call her the violin bae. Let's give a warm welcome for Clover, the violinist. Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
Nice to meet you. Good to see you as well.
Yeah.
We're going to jump right in it because I know you got a piece that you're going to play for. You got a cover of Chris Brown. Mm-hmm. And she's also doing the Breakfast Brothers jingle as well. Very talented. I can't wait to see it.
Thank you so much.
But, and you know, I'm in the food business, the restaurant. Mm-hmm. You know, my business partner is a vegan, so I hear that you're a vegan.
Yes. So
tell me how that journey began and how you feeling right now.
Okay. It was by happenstance. It started off as a 30-day challenge, you know, back in the top of 2019. And so at that point, I just figured 30 days, you know, just kind of get purged, like, you know, a little cleanse. And then 30 days turned into 60 days, turned into 6 months, turned into here I am going on 4 years in January.
Man.
Yeah.
So how do you do it on the go when it's very limited options?
It
is.
is.
You kind of create things after a while once you learn the knowledge of it?
Yeah, so like at home, super easy. You have your go-to dishes and you know, you kind of build a routine around that. But then on the go, it's hard to find restaurants to cater and accommodate to that. And I kind of got tired of defaulting to French fries and salad. So, you know, ultimately I figured transitioning more into a vegetarian diet was sustainable, and it's kind of a good balance. I still feel healthy, I still feel great, and I have more options on the road.
Man, so. And I'm looking now, you say healthy, but your skin is healthy. I mean, everything is clear about it.
Yeah, and it was such a difference. You know, it was like night and day kind of when I made that transition. And I know it's not for everybody, you know, so if you do enjoy, you know, your chicken, your steaks, and like there's no issue with that. But I think for me, after a while, it got to a point where my body was kind of just tired, you know, and giving that reset made a huge difference.
But I heard being a vegan, you still can be a fat boy.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? So vegan's not always healthy. And
I was going to say, I thought it would help you lose weight too, but I guess if you transition into it from eating bad, I think you probably can lose some weight off of it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, but we're going to sit down and talk a little bit more about your career and what you got going on and what you got upcoming. But in the time being, we're going to go back and we're going to watch you play. All right, we're here at the sit down with Clover, the violinist, and she ordered veggie fried rice. And our lovely Amber is bringing it to her.
Clover, are you ready for us to feed your soul?
Yes, I'm ready. This looks
She
good.
said, Clover, you ready for us to feed your soul? This is her first moment. This is her first time she's doing that. And normally Tatiana's doing it, so she's all new with that. But I'm gonna go ahead and let you dig right in.
Ooh,
Get your first taste so we can start talking. I love finding out how everybody think about it. You didn't know we did the veggie fried rice for vegetarians.
And this is, I've had some veggie fried rice, but this is some veggie fried
Yes,
rice.
everybody say our fried rice. We do, and of course you don't eat meat, and then we do the chicken, we do the salmon fried rice, we do catfish fried rice, we do lobster fried rice. So
Oh, wow.
we have some specialties when it comes to our fried rice.
No, this is excellent. Thank
Yeah,
you.
okay. Well, I'm gonna let you keep eating, but we're gonna eat and talk just like we at home having a regular conversation. If you get to the
Fair
point where you wanna stop, you wanna continue, you just tell me to shut up. No, I'm messing with you.
I'll be a little
But I am really interested. The piece that you played earlier before, man, was amazing. You're very talented, and getting started into that. Let's transition to how you went to start being a violinist.
So it was an adventure, kind of a happy little accident with that. So I took private lessons growing up. I've been playing for a total of about 20 years, and eight or so of those years were private lessons. But I reached a point going into college, I didn't think it was for me. And I stopped. I studied psychology at Fordham University in New York, and I lived in New York for a few years, never played the whole time.
Wow.
And when I moved to Dallas, I was doing some paralegal work. And I'm like, this is really not for me. Like, I'm just not loving it. So I decided, to just start going to open mics. So I'm like, let me try to get back into playing again.
It's funny how, not to cut you off, but it's funny how we do everything in the world when it comes to our career, and then we boomerang and comes back with what God have in store for you. I say this all the time.
Yeah.
And the reason why you wasn't feeling all those other things, because it just wasn't the energy that you was trying to put across.
Exactly.
So when you came back, what was those? I know Chris Brown, and then you did the jingle, which is Breakfast Brothers. You heard that for the first time today.
Yeah.
And played the cover to it. How do you just pick that up just all of a sudden like that? Just from sound?
I taught myself to play by ear. So
Wow.
it used to take me a couple weeks to learn a song. So I would, sit in my room and just try to work. I think the first song I learned to play by ear was Think About You by Frank Ocean.
Wow.
And that song took me, I remember it was like 2 weeks before it sounded like decent. And even then it was just like, eh. But now I've reached a point where just through a couple years of just like nonstop practice and just, working through it.
Well, that Chris Brown
Seconds.
song was on point. It
Thank
almost,
you.
by you playing it, almost you could hear his lyrics
Yeah.
coming from your violin. It was
Yeah.
amazing.
Thank you.
What's some of the obstacles that you ran into that's, being a musician that's kind of hard? If you can give any advice to anybody else other than you just picking it up and playing by ear, what was the thing that decided that was the most challenging part of that?
The challenging part, I think, was really, trying to give myself the confidence to get on stage in front of people again. That was terrifying. Going to that first open mic, going from, being in the room by myself and not letting anyone hear me play, including, like, my parents, my best friend, nobody. I'm like, y'all can't hear me, I'm not that good, not doing it. And I would prefer to honestly play in front of strangers because I felt like I'll never see any of y'all again. So if you hate it, that's on you, and kind of making the transition to start telling my friends what I was doing and saying, hey, if you'd like to come out, I'm doing this. And having the courage to really just make it second nature, so.
Well, it's probably good that you start playing for strangers because sometimes they can be more brutally honest
Yeah,
than your
that too.
circle of friends. They'll
That
tell you
too.
what you want to hear,
Exactly.
and that's not helpful. So that was good that you started doing that.
Yeah.
What's what do you be most booked for nowadays? See, I told you I was going to catch you when you was eating.
I don't know. I'm
That's
trying
okay.
to sneak in some bites. So it's a combination. I do quite a few weddings now, so I know a lot of brides like that custom element of being able to have their favorite song played as they walk down the aisle, and they're not restricted to the traditional music, and just being able to add that layer of just making something so beautiful that much more personal has been so much fun for me to be a part of.
That's big because even now with the holidays coming around, do you do a lot of Christmas carols and different Christmas parties, or you had
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, so I think the couple weeks that are leading up to Christmas have been jam-packed. There's been tons of events as far as just like holiday parties, corporate parties, private parties, intimate home settings. So.
And I think this is the third time that our talent manager tried to book you, and we finally got you booked because you was busy on the Mondays because we shoot on Mondays. So I'm glad you came on board and done this.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here.
With you doing a lot of covers and different songs, have you decided to come out with your own EP yet, or your own music?
Yes.
When is that?
I'm glad you asked.
Okay.
So on that note, I am working on some original music, and I'm working to try to get that rolled out. I would say by late March, early April of next year. So I should have like a nice, 5-6 track EP, and that'll feature some covers, some of my more popular covers, as well as a couple of original pieces too.
Man, I tell you, when I was growing up, my dad was real big in jazz, and once you get that done and get your EP done, I'm gonna let him hear it because I'm telling my age now, but a lot of people probably don't know. Larry Graham. He used to listen to Larry Graham, a song called "1 in a Million," and his favorite artist is Sade, and I used to listen to a lot of Sade with him when I was growing up too. So you kind of got some similar traits to Sade when it comes to that. So hopefully, I'm excited about some of the music in your EP coming out, and I'm excited about listening to it. And the last thing, what's the upcoming events you got?
I have some pretty exciting things coming up. So just this past week, I've had the opportunity to perform at the Dallas Weekly Best of Black Dallas Awards, which was really nice.
Big.
Yes, and I recently also got contacted by La Russell. He's a rapper out of the Bay Area.
Yes.
And he's doing some really big revolutionary things in the music industry right now. And so I've had the privilege really to join him and his band for his closeout show of the year on the 23rd. So that's super exciting.
That is. So are you going to California? Or are you
I will. I'm going to be flying out to San Francisco the day before and just getting everything going for that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Really, that's something because I seen you, I guess, a month ago online playing. Yeah. And I was like, man, she was amazing. And probably about a week later, our talent manager, she called me and said, hey, what do you think about having a violin? And she know I'm real particular about music, so she sent me the music. And I said, and I didn't tell her I had seen you already. I said, man, she's terrible. And then she said, you always say that. That's why I sent it to her. I said, no, I seen her already. She's good.
Thank
she's
you
good.
so much.
That's when we wanted to bring you on. But tell everybody how they can get in touch with you and keep up with any events. And if they wanted to book you, tell everybody how they can get in touch.
For sure. So at the moment, you can reach me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all at Clover the Violinist. I am rolling out my YouTube channel here soon, which will also be at Clover the Violinist. My website is strictly for booking, so you can kind of see some content there, some photos and videos, and a booking link at www.cloverviolin.com.
And Clover is Clover, and how I know that because I own a restaurant, Clover POS system. No, I'm messing with you. Spelled exactly the same.
Like a four-leaf clover.
Man, I enjoyed having you on the show,
Likewise.
and you were amazing. I liked the piece that you played, and I loved the most that you did the jingle Breakfast Brothers.
Yeah, I had to.
All right. Stay tuned. We got Kalon coming up next. Our next guest, she's an emotional intelligence consultant, a transformation coach, and also an inner child's fairy godparent. Let's give a warm welcome for Kalon.
Hey, what is up? Good to be
I love
here.
your outfit, everything, the necklace, and these pieces that you do yourself with.
Actually, no, I'm wearing Mineral Magic, and she's a dope local artist who creates
I love it.
beautiful
I
jewelry.
love the jacket, the hair. You came all over.
I came ready to converse and to grub. Yes.
But I always gotta, if I find out some disasters or some type of trauma in the kitchen, I gotta pull you on the carpet.
You really do, and you
I
talk
need to hear
about
about
trauma.
it. Yeah, tell me the trauma.
The kitchen can be a dangerous place.
Yes, it can.
It can also be a beautiful place. I've come into the kitchen and I've cut my finger opening a can of biscuits.
I have too. So I
See, good,
it's
family.
both ways.
Closure. But I've also come into a kitchen and had conversations that changed my life. I was fed meals and broke bread with people that I was able to see differently after the things we discussed in here. So it's a sacred space.
So where did trauma come from? Tell me
We
the
need
story.
to have a meal. We need to break this down together because
Okay.
it's going to take a second.
Okay. So we're gonna tell the short version of it, but we're gonna finish up at the sit down. But I need to know the short version. We gotta tell the viewers what it was.
So when I cut my finger open with the biscuits, I called myself being grown at 18, trying to take care of my little bae at the time.
Okay.
I was gonna make him some biscuits. I'm trying to make nothing complicated, but I was in a rush and I wasn't paying attention, and the can popped. And most of us get scared when the pop comes.
Yes.
And I jumped and
Oh, okay.
and was.
My trauma, I'm gonna tell you my trauma. I think I told this before. That was probably last year though. I don't like Pop-Tarts. The reason why I don't like Pop-Tarts to this day.
Why?
You know how when something pop out of the toaster, it just automatically pop up. I was in a hurry moving and
Once
grabbed
in a
it
hurry, yes.
and put the Pop-Tart, the icing part, in the palm of my hand. And it burned and
Scalded
blistered
you.
all my fingers and all that. I threw the Pop-Tart, yelling and screaming, and to this day I don't eat Pop-Tarts.
Yeah. And I don't open biscuit
But that was
cans.
my trauma, but I still know how to cook.
And you became so successful.
But you almost cut. Let me see. Okay, you still got.
It's still right
still
there.
got the scar right
Still
there.
got
So
the
you
scar.
really cut yourself bad.
It was deep. It would not stop bleeding.
But at the sit down, we're gonna talk a little bit more about your career and what you got going on and you got upcoming. All right, we're here at the sit down with Kalon, and she actually got the grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich and lobster mac and cheese. And our lovely Amber is bringing it.
Kalon, you ready for us to feed your soul?
Absolutely.
Now look, you got a lot on.
I know.
And
My
I
cup
know
runneth over.
the grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I already know who told you to get that. Luscious.
Luscious
I'm
Barbie.
gonna let you try it out.
All right, so let me first. I have to come over here.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is what we doing?
Mm-hmm. That's what we're doing.
Okay.
All day, every day.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna start over here,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna shimmy over here.
Okay.
All right, hold on. Hold on now, big fella.
I'm gonna let you
Hold
get
on.
into that. Once again, she ordered the lobster mac and cheese and the grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich. The grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich is with fresh bakery bread.
Mm-hmm.
Once a week we get sliced bananas and strawberries and Reese's peanut butter. Reese's, you didn't hear that? Reese's peanut butter. They actually don't call Reese's the peanut butter. They call it a cream, Reese's cream, but it actually comes in the Reese's container.
They done got
You buy it by
fancy
the
now.
case. Yeah. But I'm gonna let you eat a little bit more, so I'm gonna get right into it because I've been real excited to talk to you about what it is that you do. And the first thing, let's talk about a little bit. What is emotional intelligence? That's almost kind of like 007 James Bond trying to deal with. So let's talk about emotional intelligence.
Well, emotional intelligence is the ability to become objectively aware of how what you feel impacts what you think, which impacts what you do. And if you don't enjoy your behavior and what you've been doing, it's probably because you're not very connected with how you've been thinking and how you've been feeling.
That part. You almost sound like the female Deion Sanders.
I'll take that. I'll take it.
He's real big on explaining himself. So, tell me the advantage and impact.
So, with emotional intelligence, if you are aware of how the things that you've harbored within yourself impact the decision making you lead with, you can be mindful of when you're overcompensating. You can be mindful of when you are embellishing a story because you want to be seen in a certain light. And emotional intelligence helps us to decipher, am I leading with ego or am I leading with intuition? And a lot of us don't trust our intuition because culturally we're not necessarily taught to.
And that's the reason why we do 100 things before we find out what we can really trust.
Absolutely. Just a lack of faith in ourselves.
You should have been in the movie The Woman King.
Who said that I wasn't?
I'm finna say it. But it's just amazing to me. When we first started and I got my cue cards and I was looking at that, I'd never seen nobody have a title, and so I was in a hurry to figure out what it is you was talking about. Now, what part of that leaning into the unknown drives you?
Okay, so let me put my fork down for that.
Okay.
Because that's my favorite thing to talk to people about when it comes to emotional intelligence. If you are not aware of how emotional intelligence can impact every aspect of your life, you'll likely fear these aspects of yourself that you don't know. And you will literally barricade yourself in with your trauma because your trauma's familiar. And you're not interested in leaning into something that's not familiar.
Wow. Can I get an amen?
Hallelujah, praise God,
Yes.
amen. And so when we start to become aware that the unknown has more to offer us than anything we actually currently know does, then we actually start to tap into aspects of ourselves that can really do the healing.
Man, just those few things in the 5 minutes we talked, you've shown me some things and acknowledged some things that even me, myself, I feel like I'm Superman sometimes, that I can do it all.
Yeah.
But sometimes, you got to slow down and think about it.
Absolutely.
Your inner to lean into that unknown is what you call it. So, that's big.
Absolutely.
And moving through it.
Yeah, so it's not just the leaning into it first, because a lot of us will peek at the unknown and be like, oh, I don't know what that is. That's dark, that's black, that's scary. But once you lean into it, move through it. We are ever evolving creatures. So the only thing constant is change, right? So when you start to recognize that there are more things that you can learn about yourself, instead of resisting, lean into that unknown so that you can move through it and come out on the other side by closing the gap between who you no longer want to be and who you are becoming.
Okay. I feel that. And that's almost to where you have to practice by sitting with yourself. I'm going to let you tell that, but I'm going to tell you what I do when I sit with myself.
Oh, tell me, please. Let's compare stories.
When I sit with myself, it don't necessarily be at the house. It don't be in Dallas. It's in my car.
Yeah.
When I'm going out of town on the highway, I have a reset button. I'm originally from Oklahoma City, so when I go to Oklahoma City, I usually travel by myself. And I figure out a lot of things, and I lean into it, like you said, and I develop the unknown moving through it.
Yes, you do. Look at you, emotionally intelligent.
I'm listening.
You didn't even know how emotionally intelligent you were.
I'm joking, but I didn't even know that some of the things that I practice myself individually,
absolutely,
that you just said just now. But let me hear yours.
So when I sit with myself, I'm sitting with no distractions, for me personally, for an hour every day. And I do that because I need to become aware of the things that I think that don't serve me. I need to become aware of the feelings that I have that hold me back from my greatest good. And by doing this, I incorporate practices of meditation, of breath work, and of emotional intelligence, so that when I get up from my sitting, I'm standing up as a different person than who sat down.
Okay. Is that any different from, what do you call it, when they're sitting there and they're meditating? Russell Simmons does it. Is that any difference, what you're saying, than what he does?
It is a little bit different because it has a raw Kalon spin to it. Because we're not only just sitting there to do the breath work and to eliminate thoughts, but we're really just practicing being the observer. Okay. I want you to try something with me. Okay. You comfortable?
Yeah.
Okay,
absolutely.
So I want you to get comfortable in your seat. And I want you to put your hands flat on your thighs.
Okay.
And I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose, deep into your belly, hold it, let it out. Again, another deep breath in through your nose, into your belly, hold it, let it out. Now I want you to keep breathing like that. And as you're doing this, I want you to be mindful of the average person loses focus on what they're doing 6 to 7 times per minute. So how present can you be in this moment, just observing without identifying with what you're thinking? Just giving yourself the grace of watching it go by. Now open your eyes. Now just taking a moment, that was literally just a moment, to be present with yourself.
Right, and to relax me.
And to relax you, because you've been going all day, I know you have.
All day.
We all are going all day. Yeah. But if we can make that intentional time for ourselves will thank us every time.
Man, my emotions just totally shift from doing that.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. And because sometimes it's difficult to know how to do it, I brought you a little gift.
Okay.
This is what I call a sit kit. So it has all the tools that I started off my process, because I've been meditating for about 10 plus years now, but you all have to start somewhere. And so this includes guidance on how to set the space, set the tone, where to throw your phone so it's not pulling you out of your sitting process, how to cleanse your energy, how to connect with your body so that it's not a distraction when you're doing the sitting, and some intention stones to give you something tangible to hold on to encourage you. So I want you to have this, Rick.
All right, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Let me see what we got in here.
Yeah.
All right. I like gifts.
I know you do. I know you do. So it comes with a handy dandy card. It'll tell you how to get to your digital guidance.
Okay.
Let's see what
okay.
What you got
Now,
there?
That's a keep trying. I guess I could call that a hot rock.
You call it a hot rock?
Yeah.
Because it's meant to get hot in your hands as you sit there.
Right.
And he has keep trying because in the beginner's kit, it's all about encouraging to keep going.
Okay.
What's
I
that
really
one
like
say?
that. Well, let me see what the next one is.
Yeah, you got 3 stones in the beginner's
Okay.
kit. You have 3 incense cones.
That
and
one
3
say
stickers.
have faith.
Have faith
Okay.
in leaning into that unknown.
Focus.
because
through
you have to, like we were just talking about, intentionally sit there and focus, because otherwise your brain, who thinks it's the boss, will tell you,
Right.
oh, don't you have something you need to go and do? Did you leave the garage door open? You need to call somebody, don't you?
I do that every day when I
Yes.
leave the house.
Absolutely, because we don't
forget.
trust ourselves. Yeah. So doing this practice will help you
I've
with
had
that
my
trust.
backpack on. Did I forget my backpack? And
I
it's
definitely
on my
did.
shoulder.
Did I forget my glasses? They're on my head. Yeah.
But man, tell us what you got coming up. What's your events you got coming up?
So I host this dope event on a monthly basis called Conscious Conversations. It's for emotionally intelligent beings and sapiosexuals who like to dive deeper. It'll be the third Friday of every month, so you can follow me at Kalon on Instagram or TikTok to find out details about that. I'm also hosting an event coming up called This Is For You, a donation-based event to bless the people who always find themselves in this season giving to everyone else. This is an opportunity for them to be poured into directly.
Now, being that you emotional intelligence, it has to be a reason why you do third Fridays. What is it? Or you just picked that?
I just picked that, honestly.
Okay, all
I
right.
just picked it for funsies.
I'm surprised because all the things you got going on, it all makes sense. It
Oh,
all
yeah.
lines up.
Yeah.
But tell everybody how you spell Kalon. That way, when they go, now, I also have it on the bottom of the screen for you too. So
Yes.
spell it for me.
So it's RAHKALON, and you can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Facebook, you can find me on TikTok, you can find me on YouTube. And if you are interested in purchasing your own sit kit, it comes in beginners and intermediate. You can do that at rockkalon.com.
And if you want some of the things you've seen today on the menu, Kalon had lobster mac and cheese, grilled peanut butter and jelly. Earlier, Clover had veggie fried rice. We're open 6 days a week. Arlington, Texas, 130 East Bardin Road, closed on Tuesday, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. And our newest location is 3704 West Camp Wisdom, Dallas, Texas. We open 7 days a week there, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Each and every Saturday right here on CW33 and our sister station, Freedom 43, and also stream live on Hulu, 10:30 Central Time. I'm your host, Ricky Booker. See you next week.